All right, so welcome to Men on Everything. This is our show where we talk about everything. And in New York City is Mark Clark. I'm Tony Scott in Dallas. Troy Johnson doesn't seem to be available right now, but that's okay. We move on. Man, big news yesterday. The University of Missouri's president, Tim Wolf, resigned. You know, their chancellor, R. Bowen, Lofton, has resigned also, but his will take effect at the end of the year. This all is... There's been a lot of racial issues that have been going on at Missouri. Mizzou is what it's called, for years, for decades. Forever.
Yes.
And God bless the young people there who decided enough is enough. The football players had threatened to boycott and not play BYU on Saturday, which would have probably cost Mizzou probably over $1 million, maybe even more, man, because a lot of companies probably would have said, you know what, man, take our signs down, the advertising. You know, we can't be involved with this, man. Take us down. You know, we're canceling our sponsorship because, you know, it could have gone a lot of different ways. And it's very possible that the student athletes, the football players, could have lost their scholarships, but they were willing to roll their dice. And in the end, the president of Mizzou ends up resigning. I mean, the racial situation there, I mean, I've talked to people there who said they've been called the N-word, they've been spit on or spat on, whatever you want to call it. My wife was telling me on the local news in St. Louis that, you know, they interviewed a young white lady, and she was like, I wasn't aware there was a racial problem here.
Well, Tony, I think this is a prime example of the chickens coming home to roost. You see, you know, yeah, I mean, I applaud the generations doing this. And I think, my mentor, Dick Gregory, says that this generation, because they have no fear, are going to change the world. And I believe him because, now the thing that's so funny about this is, the system is very concerned about black athletes sitting out.
Yeah.
Because that basically, it's gonna start a rash of activism that's going to be frightening for the universities because they got their hands tied. I mean, most of these schools, most of the athletic programs have a lot of African Americans on them, and if they actually start moving like this,
yeah, it's going to be kind of chaotic.
Old Miss, the rebel has to go. Protest. Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
Take that mascot away. Protest.
Yeah.
But
there was one student that was on a hunger strike.
Yeah.
So when you're on a hunger strike, are you just on water?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you have to have water at minimum to keep existing. And when you're in your hunger strike, it ain't like somebody can shove a cheeseburger in front of you because you could actually damage it. Don't you have to kind of wean yourself back onto food? I mean, it's a whole process, right?
Come back on to salads, man. Right now, as you speak, he's having a salad right now.
Yeah, and hopefully by maybe Saturday, he might be able to work his way up to a Big Mac or something, man. I mean, I don't know. How does that normally work?
Yeah, I wouldn't hop into a Big Mac. I probably give him some fruits, vegetables. It starts off with juice. Natural juices, then fruits, vegetables.
So how far away is he from a cheeseburger, man? Couple weeks?
He's probably 10 days away from a burger.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't know how that worked because what I did know is that you just can't in your hunger strike and just somebody put a big Buford in front of you and you just go nuts. You just can't do that. And it's funny, man. They were interviewing some students at Mizzou, and in the background drives a couple of trucks with a Confederate flag.
Yeah.
Right. And therein lies the problem. Now, a lot of white students were upset at the president's resignation, but I've always said, and I've always said this, that, it's not their reality. And, people these days, if it's not your reality, then their empathy is not there. They give no damns. They can't relate. It's not their problem. The GOP, they want to sack Obamacare because they don't have to worry about health care. It's not their world.
Yeah. And I think the kids, I think there's a disconnect even with a lot of the kids because some of the kids haven't gone through a lot. They haven't gone through certain situations. So they like you said, their empathy level is kind of not necessarily in tune with everything else, Yeah. And everybody's background is different now, too. Everybody, old days, people kind of shared the same background. It's a little different now, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but if you don't open your eyes and have compassion for those who have less than you, sooner or later, as you said earlier, those chickens are going to come home to roost, man.
Oh yeah, and the thing that is crazy, you hear comedians talk about all the time. It's kind of one of my pet peeves when people talk about political correctness. But I do agree. I believe on college campuses there should be diversity, and they're saying that on college campuses, like they don't let certain comedians come, they don't let certain speakers come these days in the name of political correctness. I do think you always have to have diversity, And so I think I agree with that because I think in having diversity, it represents different points of view. And that's what college is all about.
Yeah. Somebody pointed out to me, I was on Periscope talking about this yesterday, and somebody pointed out that, they didn't see a lot of diversity in the photos at the rallies that were going on at the University of Mizzou. And I also told them, I said, well, sometimes pictures don't tell the whole story. I mean, obviously it was mostly African-American. I did see some white people there. I didn't see Latinos. I didn't see, but then I didn't see every second of what was going on. I'm not sure if I were there, I would have seen every second of what was going on. So to summarize something like that in a photo, I don't think it's really fair.
Well, Mizzou doesn't have that diverse of a population either. I mean, let's keep it real. I mean, most of these state schools don't. Sadly, there's certain ones that do and are known for it.
Yeah.
There are other ones that aren't. I
Yeah,
mean, like
true.
I said, Ole Miss. I as a parent, I don't understand how anybody would send any person of color would send their child to Ole Miss. A person of color or a Jew or Gentile, because their history, and it's still you have the rebels as the mascot, and every time Obama's been elected, they've had protests. I mean, it's 2015, and it's amazing, So
they don't want to let it go. They don't want to let it go.
Don't let it go.
No. So apparently Vivica Fox can't let it go, man. She was on Watch What Happens Live on Sunday night with Andy Cohen when she said about 50 Cent, because Andy Cohen asked her, she used to date 50 Cent, but it was years ago. But 50 Cent had made some comments about Empire's ratings being down because they're showing too much gay stuff. Okay, does he have a point? I don't know. I have no idea. But Vivica goes on the show and says, it's the pot calling the kettle black is all I'm saying. Now, why would you say that? Because Andy asked her, are you saying 50 Cent is gay? And she walked it back and says, no, he's not gay. Why would you stir this up like this? Is it because
to get some attention?
Yeah. I mean, that was fairly obvious, but I mean, come on, settle down. And of course, 50's going to respond. And, 50 don't play by anybody's rules.
No. They both are attention whoremongers, so I don't feel that bad on either side, actually.
But I mean, what 50 Cent said was like,
what did he say?
It was predictable. I mean, he talked about things they did in the bedroom, which she did to him.
She got the little chocolate drop loving?
He got the chocolate drop loving.
She gave him the.
She ate groceries, man.
Oh no! She gave him the brown eye solo.
That was just. Why would you even go there with 50? You have to know. And of course, she refuses to call him 50. She calls him Curtis. Curtis, yes. But
she did say he broke her heart, and so
we've all had our hearts broken, man.
I haven't.
Now, young man. Wait. Hey, quickly to sports, man. There's a cornerback for the Denver Broncos who got suspended for this week's game because he poked the eye of a tight end for the Indianapolis Colts, right? And apparently he did it on purpose. So they gave him a game suspension. And I was on my radio show yesterday, I was asking my listeners, to me, when you get caught doing something on purpose that results in someone being injured and say they missed 3 games, then you should have to sit out 3 games because you did it on purpose. It's different if it was just one of those things, an injury, because football's a violent sport. But when you do it on purpose, and they determine you did it on purpose, you should have to sit for as many games as that guy had to sit.
I like that rule, Tony. Enact it.
See, I'm surprised. I didn't think you would like that. I don't know why.
I like that. Enact it, Tony.
Yes. And if you want to take it one step further, the money that he loses for being suspended for hurting that guy, you got to give it to that player.
I'm with you on that.
You with me on that too?
100%.
Wow, I'm shocked, man.
Referee Tony, I'm with you.
I'm shocked. I'm so shocked. So Chipotle in Washington State and Oregon had to shut down 43 stores because of E. coli.
Damn.
Which really had no effect here in Dallas because I drive by Chipotle every day and the line's out the door. So, people were like, hey, that's over there. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to get this burrito bowl over here. Do you mind? You know. But I read this morning, man, where the health officials there say we can't find any E. coli inside Chipotle. We can't find the source of this. So they're going to be able to open up tomorrow and Thursday. They're going to have to do some new guidelines. But I'm like, if they have to do new guidelines, you didn't find any E. coli. So apparently they were doing something right. I mean, so why are you making them? You know, I'm putting on your conspiracy cap, man. I'm like, so why are you making them change the way they do things if you didn't find anything wrong?
Yeah, well, you know, Troy, I'm glad to see, Tony, I'm glad to see you putting on a conspiracy cap. It is, but you're right, it is. This conspiracy is easy to figure out, though. You know, haters got to hate, man. Chipotle.
They rolling, man.
Chipotle rolling. Wherever you go, they rolling.
Oh, man.
Damn. I mean, the fact that it was some offbeat place, that was kind of like, that proves, Tony, the conspiracy. They didn't hit them in the pocket too hard. They just wanted to make you scared enough. And it worked for me. I haven't been to Chipotle since this thing broke out.
Oh, really? You haven't?
Let me slow down a little bit. See, it worked. So, you know, it was like a compromise. We're going to hit them, but we're going to hit them in Montana or some place that nobody cares about.
Unless you live there.
People aren't paying attention.
Yeah.
Unless you care, Okay. Oh, damn, what are we going to do now? Oh, here we go to Hardee's.
So now that you know that they didn't find any E. coli, are you going back to Chipotle now? Are you good?
Probably not. It's going to be a while.
Is it really?
They might be under attack.
Okay, I got you. All right.
By the conspiracy junkies.
Carla Lee is the mother of Tyshawn Lee. Tyshawn Lee was the 9-year-old boy in Chicago who apparently was lured into an alley and executed, allegedly because of his father's ties to a gang, right? Didn't have money to bury the boy, 9 years old. There was a GoFundMe page started, $17,000 was raised. She took, I don't know if she took some of the money. She took at least some of the money. I don't know how much she exactly took, but she went and bought a car. And now people are, you know, dragging her for that. And you know, she's saying that my son would have wanted me to be safe in these streets. I don't have a car. I have to walk to work. Chicago is dangerous right now. So, you know, what do you think, man? I asked my listeners yesterday about this, and they said, in a 5-call say it all, you know, most of them said that as long as the funeral was taken care of and there was money left over, she needed a car, that's fine. That's what the majority of them said. So what do you agree. You agree with that? But that's not what the money was intended for, though. So what are you supposed to do with the leftover money?
I agree with what your listener said, Tony. I don't really have a problem with it. I think it's easy for us to pass judgment. You know, in a situation where, you know, the people who don't have much, I personally give her a pass. Okay. Long as it's taken care, long as the what was taken care of, what was said to be the purpose of the fundraiser was taken care of, right. Then I can't be that mad. You know what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I mean, what if a lot of money had been raised, like a couple $100,000, and if she spent it and went and bought a Tesla or something, would that have bothered you? I mean, to me, part of me was like, well, what kind of car did she buy?
Yeah, well, right. and I mean, I think there's a part of me that doesn't want to pass judgment, Tony. No judgment, no condemnation, and no criticism. But if she bought a damn Tesla, she might have a problem. No, I mean, don't buy a Tesla. Move to another apartment. I mean, move
out of the neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but yeah, I mean, man, these streets, man, these streets are rough, man.
Chicago, man, Chicago is ridiculous.
Chirac, man, it's tough, man.
It is very. You know what her other problem is it who leaked out that she bought a car? One of the people in her circle sold her out, probably because she didn't break them off something, and so he or she went public and said, you know, she used some of that money to buy, because you know nobody keeps a secret. So
yeah, Tony, why did the person who busted her out have to talk like that? Man, you know, why
you gonna hit me up, man?
Yeah, man, you know she bought a car, right? Messed up, man.
Why you hit me up? Can we edit that out? Can we? Man, it's all good, man. So TLC is being dragged, man. You know, they haven't come through with an album that people all pitched in for on Kickstarter. Over $400,000 was raised. including 5,000 from Katy Perry on an album that was promised to be out in September. Here we are in November, and the album's not out. And T-Boz said recently, we've sent emails to everybody who donated, and then on top of that, we've done a press release. I refuse to address ignorance because there's a lot of followers out there. They hear one comment, jump on the bandwagon, and then fail to do their research. I think she's right about that, but she did tweet to someone, call Kickstarter and tell them to give you your money back.
Yeah, no. You have to be humble. See, this is the problem with these Kickstarters. You know, you're asking for something. You got your hand out like a cup. Mm-hmm. So when people give to you, you've now opened yourself up to a whole bunch of things, judgment, criticism, whatever, because people feel like if they've donated to your cause, they have a say.
Right.
And so you have to handle it in a very diplomatic way. You have to say, I'm sorry. I know the expectation was that this album, blah, 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 blah. You have to play the game. You know, right. You can't, we'll get your money back. No, it doesn't make sense. You have to, and I think that's what was happening with these campaigns, these Kickstarter campaigns, whatever. People are almost like, just because you gave me $5 don't mean you owe me. Well, you owe me. Well, you kind of.
I think that TLC needs to be more transparent.
Yes.
As transparent as they possibly can be, because people have given you money because they're fans. And you don't treat your fans by saying, badly by saying, call Kickstarter, tell them to give you your money back. You don't do that. They
need to be as transparent as your girl's half shirt she's been wearing for 30 years.
Who's that? Chili?
It's Chili's abs.
Yeah, she's got abs, man. I mean,
she does have abs.
Yeah, man. So, but the other side, I think T-Boz is right to a point. But there's another side to this: is what people don't understand about the record/entertainment business is that nothing is what you think it is, and it's very seldom that schedules are kept, deadlines are met. People make a living off of Hollywood in the entertainment business going past deadlines.
Yes.
And I think that's what people don't understand. It's a huge business, and there are a lot of egos involved. There's a lot of money being thrown around, and sometimes when you promise something, and especially in the record business, you plan to release an album, and how many times do we hear about someone's album getting pushed back?
Right. All the time.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, that's a good point, Tony. You're right there. So it's almost like it's not getting it pushed back is not as big as a deal as it's made out to be, but it needs to be explained.
Yeah.
So you don't have this confusion.
Yeah. And like we said earlier, she could be a little bit more patient and a little bit more gracious, I think.
Well, T-Boz is kind of snappy. Okay, let's keep it real. We always said that. That's what we loved about her, but she can be kind of snappy.
Yeah. Well, but now you're having to be a businesswoman and an artist.
Yeah.
Now you're handling hundreds of thousands of dollars, and now you need to change your approach. I mean, to me, if I'm wrong, say so, man, because I just
no, you're right. It's a different day and age,
Yeah.
Different day and age, girl.
Yeah. That's Mark Clark in New York City. I'm Tony Scott in Dallas. Troy Johnson will join us next time. Thanks for watching Men on Everything. All right, we'll see you later.